They became your trustee. If you have a house, whoever financed that house is your trustee. You bought a car, whoever financed that car is your trustee. You have so many territories. Territories mean people who's over you as a fiduciary, and you don't even know it. So you're saying to yourself, well, how the hell do I get rid of all this, right? Because you can fire them. You can get rid of every territory that's over you, because you got territories over you that you don't even know that's overseas, that's collecting off your Social Security number. Yes, it's called birth bond right. Now, you would have to be your fiduciary to do this. You had to become your own fiduciary, and then you had to fill out a Form 56. Now, what you don't know is that Form 56 and the 1041 will get you on your way to be a fiduciary. I'll show you that on Roku Fire Stick. Okay. Yes, I do those packets as well on Qaraah Films merch. Okay. But what I want you all to understand why I'm telling you this, because some of you guys don't understand the hardship that you have all of these policies on you and you don't even know it. Even your voter registration card. Please stop voting. Your voter registration card is nothing but a policy, a jurisdiction that gives them territory over you. Why you think when cops stop you, what's the first thing they ask you? Even if they say your license plates, we can't read your license plates, but everything else is good, but you have license registration. You're probably saying, why do they want to see that? They want to swipe them. Every license now have a barcode. Back in the day, they had barcodes, but they had serial numbers, and you still got those serial numbers on your license. Well, they would write those numbers down and turn it into your magistrate, which is the judge of that location, that community, to collect from the Department of Treasury. It's all one big hoorah. That you don't know that. You understand? So you have all of these fidelities, insurances on you, and you don't even know it. Voting is a scam. It's a waste of time. I don't know. People are just so stupid. That's why it's so easy to conquer people, because they don't have no respect for y'all, man. Look how many people jumped in line and took the jab. And they was like, it's the unvaccinated that's killing everybody. Now they flipped and say it was your choice to take the jab. It's like they play with your life, man. And as this year is continuing, people just going to keep falling. It's not going to stop. Okay. Hold tight. Let's see something going on. Yeah. Whoa. That's bullshit. I'm just getting some crap, man. Hold on a second. I'm getting crazy mails right now. Okay. Yeah. So basically, man, people need to understand policies. Okay. And the sad part about it, they are sending you, they're giving policies that you're not even aware of, that's on your life. You know, I tell people, like, you got jobs that make you take oaths. Oaths comes at a price. And you may not quite understand these oaths, but it doesn't matter. When they're looking for you to die, man, you know, a lot of times they don't want you to die. That's why they want you to buckle up, because your money, you don't have to buckle up if you don't want to. But in my opinion, I think a seatbelt do save your life. I mean, it ain't got nothing to do with the cops. I've seen a lot of people get ejected out of cars, and babies get ejected. For that reason, it ain't got nothing to do with cops and Fidelity Insurance. I just seen people get ejected like popcorn, especially babies. So for that perspective, I would say, yeah, seatbelts can help you. Okay, but you're not required to wear them. So here's the thing. Fidelity Insurance, the biggest scam in America. That's why when people sign up for 401ks, you're really doing yourself a disservice. Roth RAs is nothing but a scam. When you sign up for a Roth RA and a 401k, you know what you just did? You gave them access to your Department of Trust. That's all you did. Now, a C3rtificade trust. That's all you did. They need a way to get in there with your permission. So they told you a 401k is the biggest scam in the world. And then they tell you Roth IRA, you can't get out to 10 years. Oh, not really. Because when you do a Roth IRA, they have to go into your Department of Trust. And you gave them access with your beneficiary signature. And you don't even know what the hell you signing, man. It's all a joke. It's all a scam. And like I told y'all, you got companies like Chase, Bank of America, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, and all these credit unions. They all have a private side, a public side. The public side is to give you a savings and checking. The private side is their banking. You try to say, what's wrong with that? Well, what's right with it? There's nothing wrong with it, but you're a private bank too, but you don't know how to access it. So a private bank for institution of the corporations, give them access to your funds faster. That's why they always want you to sign. They want their beneficiary signature, and they go in the back and they draw from your Department of Trust, because the average bank, whether it be credit union or corporation, they all have a private side, and that private side is the Department of Trust. Why you think when you get a BMW, they say we can finance you in-house? BMW is connected to the Department of Trust. That's why they become your fiduciary and trustee quickly. Within 2 or 3 hours, they have you sign something, right? That's your beneficiary signature to release the funds from your Department of Treasury. So if you're going to fire them, you have to become your own fiduciary with a Form 56, 1041, and send that in to whatever state you reside in, right? They require the state that you live in, and then you pick the state where you're at, and it's the address to the right at 1041irs.gov, and you send it there. And what happens is you're terminating services from every territory. That's a territory, meaning who's over you right now. You don't know it without your knowledge. So you're terminating all those services. And what that means, you become your own fiduciary. Now, you got people on YouTube. I talked to this before. We need to talk about it now. People are waking up, a few, and people are still running to YouTube for their answers. And you run into these wrong people. A lot of these people are pawns. They're working together. Anytime somebody tell you that you have to have a trustee to access your account, that's a pawn. And a pawn is a person who's put in your way to stop you from getting what's really yours. These are agents. They're placed right in front of you, and they come in all walks of life. It's got nothing to do with race. I've seen them black. I've seen them white. And they even got Asians. They got Latinos. They got them all race. They're all working together. One of the biggest one is Chris Hauser. He's the biggest one, and they all kind of follow his umbrella. That's just facts. They all teach that same shit. Without a trustee, you can't get this, you can't get that. Ain't none of them teaching you how to be your own fiduciary. Because as a fiduciary, you don't need nobody. Nobody. You be Keith Sweat on their ass. I'm just telling you, you've been lied to. Any man or woman telling you for 15 to 20 grand they can get you this, they can't guarantee you shit. I stop the bullshit. All you need is 3 EINs to start making drawers, but you have to make sure your ducks in a row before you do that shit, because none of your assets are phenomenal. Your asset meaning you have this wealth. You need to protect your wealth with a security party creditor. So what I'm trying to tell you is that these people that's telling you all that shit, that they can't guarantee shit. Now, the only person that can guarantee your funds when they do a draw is a bank who's willing to work with you as a private bank to a private bank. That makes sense? Yes, it makes sense. Because you need your 3 EINs to do a draw. You get it? You need your 98 foreign grantors. You need your, what's that other one? You need the 98 so that you don't pay taxes on your draw. And you need your individual banker that makes you a private bank. Those 3 EINs. So in essence, if there's a bank that's willing to understand what I'm saying, because you can't talk to a manager at a bank, they're going to laugh at you. They don't have the knowledge. So you have to get a CEO, CFO, or president of the bank. If you build a rapport with your bank and they're willing to talk, they know exactly what I'm saying. They have a private side. Now, the thing is, they're going to tell you, we'll need you making commercials about this. Whoever have their eyes open, that's who we'll deal with. But right now, we're dealing with you. What's significant about this, they will connect private bank to private bank. So you can put your private bank in their institution. They'll get 10 to 15% off every draw. They have at it. It's no big deal. Get it? So that's the wonderful part when you can find an institution that would say, okay, you know what's going on, right? And that's something you guys can not do it on your own, but you need to understand that every bank and credit union has a department of trust. So if they have a department of trust on private side, then you know what I'm telling you is true, right? You just don't know how to maneuver through the system. And you want these people to be truthful. You're going to talk to a regular clerk. She blind, and sometimes sometimes the president of the bank is on all hands on deck. These presidents of banks know a lot, but the managers don't. The underwriter sometimes do. Sometimes the underwriter has a connection with the president of the bank, and they can spit some game. But if you notice, I'm telling y'all the truth. Out of 100% of the people in America, there's 3 to 7% that know exactly what I'm talking about. Not even 10% know. And I'm going to tell you why they refuse to understand and study and to understand how to make this happen. Okay. You have to just be very understanding and wise. And I would tell people, don't take people's word for what they say. The people like myself who really trying to show y'all the right way, we're not on YouTube. I can tell you right now, 98% of people on YouTube are fraud. I don't know who they are, where they came from. Now, the innocent ones who making pop-up videos, they're really sincere, but they're being compromised quickly. They're being compromised very quick. So we don't go on YouTube. You don't see me on no damn TikTok trying to explain to y'all how that's ridiculous, because it's not going to last. It's not going to work. So I have my own private network, Roku Fire Stick. It is what it is, right? The reason I'm telling y'all this because half the people on YouTube are compromised. They're working with the system. They're not telling y'all the right thing. I told a person it's been a year since you've been working with so-and-so, and I ain't going to drop names, right? But these are groups of people who've been working with individuals on YouTube for a year, and they don't have not one EIN. And I just don't understand that. They haven't even been taught the 3 EINs, because I asked them, how do you make a draw? And it was like, I don't have to worry about that. My trustee going to do that. So you're going to trust another person with your fortune, right? It doesn't even make sense what you're saying. And like I said, it's been over a year, and I asked them about the EINs. They still don't know. And I just briefly say, what's the 98? What's the foreign grantors? And what's the individual? They didn't have no clue. It's because they say, I don't need to know about all that. My trustee going to do all that. And I'm telling you, this is not like 2 or 3 people saying this. These are in the thousands. That's just what I told you. They're waiting on their trustee to come through for them. So the whole ideal is you don't have to worry about everybody trying to do it, because there's only 15% of American people believe this. The rest think it's a hoax, and that's why they're working day to day, and that's why they're about to jump off a roof, because they lost their pension. They're not going to get that promotion they thought. Let them people live, okay? The thing about it, and I hear this a lot, where, well, what happens when they go digital? And I tell people all the time, what makes you think they just started? Digital been going on for the last 15 years. I know about it because I've been digital for at least 13. So I'm like, what the hell y'all talking about, man? Digital, you think it's brand new? It never went nowhere. It was always, you just catching on to it. You thought cash was king. The whole cash thing is demigods, man. And I don't even want to go all there, because if you look at every dollar, if you look at every 5, 10, if you know how to put that money together and fold it right, you'll see an image of Lucifer. Who you think produces the money, man? I don't see how you don't put your health first, but that's just me thinking out the box, right? So, like I say, today's show is talking about positivity equals I am, right? When you understand the term I am, you're in command. And I tell people, before you try to get a full understanding of what I be talking about, Department of Trust, your QV Trust, and all that, you really need a Black Law Dictionary. because the way the Black Law Dictionary is structured is the way corporate America talks. As it's not like they talk just like the whole dictionary, but they use those words. They understand that literature, and you can use those words to your advantage as well. Okay, just like police officers have a tendency of saying, "I'll give you a lawful order to show me your ID because you look suspect." All right. If I'm understanding section USC 241, 242 says suspicion is not enough for being arrested or handcuffed. But y'all don't know that at the top of the dome. So that's another thing they fuck with you on because they dumb. These are peace officers, man. They're just bullies. So make a long story short, you have to understand why you having a hard time. Like you go buy a house, you feel like you're locked in. You don't need credit to buy a house. That's just a lie. You don't need money down on a car to buy. But what happens when you tell them, I don't need good credit to get a house. I like this house. Well, what makes you think you're going to get it with no money down? Well, I've had 15 years of rental history. We don't do that here. How many times you going to hear that? See, you know what they saying? We can't fuck this one. Damn. We got to let them go. That's what they want to do. If they don't think they can screw you over, they're going to say, we can't help you. Your business is not welcome here. This country is full of lies, deceit, and they like to rake you over the coals. And if they can't use you, they're going to get rid of you. That's facts. Okay? The same thing with a vehicle. If you go see a car you want, and you can, according to the Truth in Lending Act, you do not have to put money down. What they're going to tell you, well, we don't go by that. We don't know where you're getting this from. Here we go with the bullshit. We're going to deny your application. He can't deny an application after it's been ran because a conditional acceptance will make him turn that over if you understand the coding of the Americas. But at the end of the day, I just don't have that kind of time to pursue because as a field worker, a salesman don't have no clue of anything I'm saying. And most general managers don't. A lot of times general managers call the CFOs and CEOs of the company because they don't have no language of understanding what's being said. So if it's getting too thick, the CFO will send someone and say, well, patch them through to me. Let me have a conversation with him or her because they're going to have a different tune because all companies like your Nissans, your BMWs, your Lexus, your Maserati, all of these Jaguars, Ford Motor, GMC, they all have a department of trust connected to the foundation. That's the private side of the institution. That's why it takes you 2 to 4 hours to get approved. And they fax them your check, and they need your beneficiary signature to release it. The moment that you walk out that car lot, you pay for that car, man. But you volunteered and say, I'll pay you a gift by paying insurances and paying a car note because there's penal code gap insurance is already on the car. It was shipped on the car. You don't need insurance. That's another fraud. They tell you need insurance. Well, you probably say, what's the point for them telling us that? You're giving the owners free fucking money. But just think about all the millions of people who bought cars from all these dealerships I just named prior. And you got the gap insurance with the vehicle come with gap insurance. It's already instilled. It's all installed in there. You volunteered to pay them an additional $100 to $200. So imagine all the vehicles they done sold in the past 5-6 years that they still collecting on. That's why they can produce 500 dealerships because they're making money hand over foot because you don't know law. You understand? So when you don't understand law, you say, I'm not paying all those extra fees, doc fees, and all this because according to Truth in Lending, you pay for it already. I'm not going to double pay for it. And you probably say, what's the car note? The car note is a gift because when you sign that beneficiary signature, that car is paid for. You voluntarily going to give us some extra money, and you also volunteer to pay taxes on the car. Everything is voluntarily. You say, I'm not going to pay that car note. I don't think it's a need. If you give me a car note, I'll pay $1 a month. They're going to laugh. But if you're talking to the CFO, he's going to say, okay, because he get it. He's connected to the Department of Treasury. That's the private side of his corporation. He ain't going to argue with it. He probably just going to give you a car outright because he know what you're saying is truth. He getting paid anyway. He's got his money from the moment you sign. There's no need to keep with this paperwork. The reason they keep giving you extra paperwork because you're going to give them the insurance. You're going to pay insurance as a gift, which is money in their pocket, and you're going to create a car note, which the car note is already paid for. The car's paid entirely, but you're going to give them a gift. You're giving them a gift voluntarily, and that's how they make millions of dollars with voluntary signatures, which should be railroaded and unethical, because what they're doing is finding loopholes and flipping things when the law says that can't be done, but yet it's still being done. So America is in a bad place where you're going to see these corporations just flipping things over and just giving you a car with hand over foot. And if you know the shit like I know, they're going to start dealing with people who understand this trust issue. Because you got to understand, there's no such thing as value. There's no such thing as debt. You don't have debt. As a person, as a human, you have discharge. Corporations have debt because they don't pay their debts. They pass them to the consumer. So what you have to do when you understand what I'm saying is discharge, because you can't pay debt. You can't pay a debt with a debt. There's no value in the system of America called money. There's no gold and silver. So what that means, you got to offset the debt with a 1099-C or promissory note or bill of exchange. And that's the way they work. And they work, it's a tender, tangible item to how America works. But instead, they don't pay anything. They don't even do the promissory. They don't honor the promissory notes on the bill of exchange. They push everything on you and say, well, you give us and you owe us. You owe us a debt. You don't owe no one nothing when everything's been paid. All debt's been paid, brother. HR, I keep forgetting the HR in 1933. All debt's been paid. There's no debt as a human being. The only debt is the corporations of the Americas. And because you don't know it, they pass it off to you and you voluntarily say, I'll give you as a gift, which is unethical, which the IRS can go to prison or be held for treason. That's why these guys are stepping down. So you know a lot of IRS people have stepped down and they hire new blood. They went somewhere overseas because they figure this shit gonna get thick. And that's where we're at. So some of y'all probably say, well, they're going to deny getting that trust. They can deny all they want. Any IRS person that hearing my voice and any person that knows about the trust, if they deny you and you have all your paperwork to prove that you sent to them, they can be in violation, treason, and they can also be railroaded. A lot of people understand exactly what I'm saying. So they're going to honor everything that's being righteously right. But you got those who are daredevils, the ones my age and older, that don't bend. That's why you get them letters saying we need more information. That's the ones that's been around since the damn Willie Lynch times. The Jim Crows, some bitches up in age, they ain't gonna pass nothing through because they think, they own you, they entitled. So them types of people you just have to overlook. They're so close to their grave, and they're probably getting ready to croak with the jab. It don't even matter no more. You see what I'm talking about? But the majority of people that understand law and ethics, they pass it through because they're not giving you anything. This is your right to claim your fiduciary. It's your right to be a private bank because every man and woman in America is a private bank. When you turn 18 years of age, you're supposed to have everything released to you, but they kept it. That's when they're in violation. And what does that mean? They put the territories over you. The territories of all these different companies in America and outside the Americas who are investing in your number. Okay? And you have to terminate their services so they'll stop collecting funds off you. So people be like, well, how soon can this happen? That's when it's a no-no. It's not about how soon it's going to happen. This is a journey, my nigga. Shit, you just stumbled up on it. You think you're going to get it in 5 minutes? You don't even believe in it. You just talking about, see, I'm going to tell you why you ain't going to get it. Because the first thing you're thinking about is big booty Shirley, who you going to impress, what kind of car you going to drive, and what kind of clothes. We got to stop thinking outside the box. That's bullshit. That type of outside the box thinking is for the birds. Why come black folks love to dress, broke as fuck, and got the best clothes? Who cares about that shit? Get your business together, man. Make sure you got your 3 EINs. Make sure you're a secure party creditor, because once you start to open that Pandora's box, you become a heavy assets. That means you have a wealth. You have a lack of wealth. And if you don't know how to protect it, people are coming to get it. And there usually be corporations that you don't understand What did Bernie Mac say? You don't understand. You got to know how to protect yourself, man. That's the why you become a secure party creditor, because once you open up this Pandora's box, you have assets of unbeknownst. And now you also have the abilities to terminate and liquidate services like Fidelity, who have hidden insurances on you. That's something to think about, right? So tomorrow...